Hi guys, it's Z. I wanted to step in here for a minute, and it's not going to be your classic magical book review that I want to talk about today. I'm going to show some books, and I'm going to talk about some things that may be a little uncomfortable for those of us in the magical community. One of those is being vocal with your spirituality. In the pagan community, I've noticed a lot of people that are very good writers, very good musicians, very good broadcasters, very good podcasters, very good at doing YouTube and things like that to bring the knowledge that we've obtained over the years to the masses. Uh, I know some people even think that that's wrong. Some people think that we're violating some sort of oath or something to keep silent. Um, so, and with politics, the way they're getting, uh, basically with the Christian theocracy on the way here in the United States, that's just my opinion. Um, I think we need to reevaluate some things. But what I want to talk about is even deeper than being and living in a theocracy. What I want to talk about is basic faith. Do we have it? If you wonder why your magic doesn't work, is do you believe it will work? I've read several articles and I've read several books about this matter, and it always comes down to belief. Now, I want to go back to 2009 real quick. I was living a pretty 2008, 2009. I was living a fairly comfortable life, even though my children were moved away and my wife had moved away down to about 120 miles away, so I didn't see them very often. Uh, I was living a pretty difficult life, and I was diagnosed with male breast cancer. My life shattered at that point. I had to do some serious contemplating on life because the statistics show that a man that gets breast cancer is usually not going to make it because most guys, and I was one of them, will write off pain, will write off a lump in their breast as a just hey, I got a bruise or something I did at work or something like that, and they don't uh, pursue it. I know I worked in the medical field for a long time, and I had never really heard anything about male breast cancer before 2009. But then to find out I had cancer, I was the first one in my family to ever come up with any sort of cancer. And since then, my sister developed cancer, and she's passed us. She's passed into the Everlands. Uh, what I want to talk about is faith. For many, 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 many years, I've been studying magic, and I've been studying different religions and trying to figure out just where I stood. And I was like I came from a Pentecostal background, and then I got into this at a young age, and it kind of went in and out of it for a few years until I was like 21, 22 years old. I was running from being a pagan. I was running from the magic that's out there, and I was frightened myself at a younger age by doing some left-handed stuff, some dark stuff, and I got away got away from it. And anyway, I want to talk about this faith. Well, I was diagnosed with cancer in 2009. I had people come to me from about every religion, every aspect of my life, including family members, all the way to perfectly unknown strangers until we began to talk. And every one of them seemed to be pulling me away from what I believe and telling me I should go back to church and I should do, pray for healing and all this stuff. And that's where my faith began to come in. Did I believe in the stuff that I'd been practicing all these years? Well, granted, I was armchair practicing this for a long time, but is this all bullshit that I keep telling everybody I'm pagan? Is it bullshit that I believe this stuff and I don't work at it? I don't participate in it, but I read a lot about it. I mean, I consider myself an occultist to a degree, but sometimes an occultist could be a Christian occultist, just trying to figure out what's going on on the occult side. But I'm an occultist. I'm a magic user. I'm a magician. I'm a spiritualist. I'm all those things wrapped up into one. I'm a very eclectic pagan. And all these people were coming to me and they were asking to pray for me and things like that. Well, I want to tell you what. In faith, I told them how I believed. I told them that I was pagan. But if they would like to pray for me, for my soul, for my health, whatever they wanted to do, please do. Because I believe that prayer is a Christian's form of working magic. I will never turn down a prayer from anyone. Now, I'll turn down a hex, but I won't turn down a prayer. When I was a young man, I went to church camp, Assemblies of God church camp in Excelsior Springs with my best friend Sammy. And during Tabernacle, a few nights, seen some miracles happen. Miracles, magic. I saw a girl's leg grow probably close to 3 inches. Literally, she came in with big, huge orthopedic shoes on one foot and couldn't walk right with it on after the service because her leg grew back. I seen girls come in with glasses thick as Coke bottles. And when they were done praying, they lifted their head up, didn't have their glasses on, and could see perfectly well. Man, I've seen people actually float onto the stage. So yeah, that's why I stayed with the church for as long as I did, because I seen that it does do magic. It does get results. So when I got into magic, I used that same type of resolve for several years, and then I became basically what a church person would call a backslider. I just slid back into the lackadaisical armchair bullshit. I'd still read the books and learn, but when 2009 happened and I was diagnosed, that's when shit got real. I opened myself up to being humiliated, to being scoffed at, to possibly being fired. I live in a right to work state. They could have fired me on cause. I had people that just absolutely stopped talking to me. I had people that looked at me like I was some sort of a circus freak. But I lived the life. I lived the life. It opened me up to the point where I had to get vocal about it. That's why shortly at 2009, 2010 era, I began podcasting and doing the old Hickwit show and I started listening to a new show that was on Blog Talk Radio from Witch School. I'd been a member of Witch School for quite a few years, and then I became a lifetime member pretty quick. So I got into listening to Ed and Don and Tracy coming on and talking about magic, and they were speaking words that I could understand. They were speaking words that I longed to hear here where I live, but I didn't. I had no idea there was a magical community here, and there is. We went from no stores to having two that's closed down and one that's still around. We've got readers, we've got all kinds of folks here in town. It's really cool. But I never stuck my head out of the sand to find that out until after 2009. Well, come back to faith, and here's the point I want to make. I have seen so many people that'll pick up a book and they'll leaf through it, and then they'll set it down. They'll grab another one, look through it, put it down, grab more. You know, I want to learn about numerology, so I'll grab Connolly's book on numbers. I want to learn about astrology, so I'll grab an astrology book. I want to learn about other religions like the I Ching and like other things. Such as, I'm sorry, the camera disappeared for a second. Such as the Kabbalah. I want to learn about shamanism, so I grab another book on shamanism. You know, and I take all this in, and I learn all these things. But then what do I do with that? When the real life situation hits you square in the balls, or in the chest, in my case, you have to decide whether it's real or it's make-believe. Are you playing games? Are you playing games to sell songs? Are you playing games to write books? Are you playing games to be a leader in a coven? Are you playing games to get laid? Those are all reasons that some people have been in this. Are you playing games to be a child molester? There's another one. Horrible one. Are you playing the game? Well, here's the trouble, guys. When trouble hits you, what happens to you? Do you fall down? Fall out? Just because somebody calls you out on being a pagan, do you, for lack of a better term, become Judas on your religion, on your beliefs? I understand that some people live in places, and this is the staunchly Republican area here, I'm telling you, but they live in some places that it's really kind of dangerous to let your beliefs out, and I respect that too. But you got to believe in something, and you got to have faith in something. So I'm calling folks out. Who am I to do that? But I'm doing it anyhow. I'm calling folks out. Walk your walk. Talk the talk. But do both. If you are not going to do this right, and you're going to harm the craft, please walk away. I don't care how many years you've been into it. I don't care what your position is. You can be what Isaac Bonowitz called a big-nosed pagan, or you could be just somebody hanging around. If you don't want to do this, walk away. There is a reason why the teachings are a year and a day. It's to make sure that you have the resolve to be trained. I have my own tradition that I've founded several years ago. And I have not allowed anyone to come in and do this along with me. Why? because nobody's ever came back to me 3 times like I've always. That was my goal. If somebody came back to me 3 times with a request to help, I would help. But you know what? Now I'm changing that number so nobody knows. But I need to see some resolve. If somebody wants to learn, I want to see the faith that's out there. I don't have time to teach somebody who don't care about this, who's going to take these books and they're going to read them and throw them in the trash can, or they might as well, because that's where the knowledge is going to. I know this is a long one, guys. Sorry. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do this, if you're going to be pagan, you're going to be Wiccan, you're going to be a magic user, you're going to be a wizard or witch, or you're going to be a warlock, or whatever you call yourselves. And sorry, Christian, I didn't mean that as a slight on you. No way, no way, no form dictates what I'm trying to say here. Do it. Do it with the fullest of your heart. And then, if you don't see magic, something's wrong. When you're properly doing magic, it happens around you all the time. And you see it. You see the realness and the truth of the god and the goddess, or the flying spaghetti monster, or Jesus, or Buddha, or Allah, or Muhammad, whatever. You're going to see the truth. And goes out to not just people of the pagan, under the pagan umbrella, but this goes out to Christians too. If you are going to profess something, live it, walk it, sacrifice something to it. I'm not talking about a human sacrifice. That's stupid. What I'm talking about is you sacrifice by putting your time into it, your money into it, your friendships, your love life, your everything you put into this. And if you don't, then you're going to get half-assed results. Well, that's about all I want to say on that, as Forrest Gump would say. Um, Please, if you would like to talk with me about this, please leave comments in the basement here of the video, or you can contact me on bigfootporn.space. Just drop a comment in there. If you got other beliefs, other ideas of what I said, you said I'm totally full of bullshit, call me out on it. All right, that's it. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again to everyone. And you know I love you. Please, if you would mind, just kind of tap the subscribe button if you want to hear more of my rantings and some of my magical book reviews, which are late and they're coming, guys. Please do. Please do. Okay, I'm going to get off here. Love you. Blessings.